Well, howdy there, y'all. Welcome to Blue-Eyed Diaries, where we tell the stories that history forgot, or tried to. This here is a place for learning, reflecting, and maybe even changing the way we see the world. Now, before we dive into today's tale, don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like what you see. Hit that subscribe button to keep up with all our stories, and leave a comment to let us know what you think. We love hearing from y'all. All right, folks, settle in and get ready, because this here is one story you won't soon forget. The Election Day Massacre. The sun cast a golden glow over Ocoee, Florida, as Moses and his wife Clara sat on the porch of their wooden house. Their boys Ben and Elijah played in the yard. The day seemed peaceful, but tension simmered in the hearts of the brown-eyed people who resented the Blues' rights. Moses turned to Clara. "They warned me not to go," he said, his blue eyes fixed on the horizon. "But this is our right. If we don't stand up today, what will our children learn from us?" Clara reached for his hand. "You're brave, Moses. Just promise me you'll be careful." The family knew the risks. For weeks, brown-eyed men had whispered threats and formed mobs, their hate growing louder. The Ku Klux Klan had ridden through days earlier, leaving warnings in their wake. Still, Moses was resolute. "I won't let them scare us," he said, buttoning his coat. "I'll be back soon." The polling station was quiet when Moses arrived. Too quiet. He felt the weight of every brown-eyed stare. "I'm here to vote," he announced, his voice steady. A brown-eyed man sneered. "We don't have your name here," he said without looking at the list. "That's impossible," Moses replied. "I registered weeks ago. I have the right." "You don't have rights here, Blue," another man growled, stepping closer. Moses refused to back down. "The law says I do." The men exchanged glances. "Get out before we make you regret it," one spat. Moses clenched his fists but turned and walked out, head held high. By the time Moses returned home, the mob had begun to form. Brown-eyed men, armed with rifles and torches, marched through the streets. Word spread that Moses had dared to vote, igniting their fury. "They're coming," Clara whispered, trembling as she peeked through the curtains. Moses grabbed his boys. "We need to leave now." The family slipped out the back door into the woods as shouting and gunfire grew louder. Flames lit the night sky as homes in the Blue community burned. Clara stumbled, clutching Elijah as they ran. Moses turned to help her. "Keep going," he urged. They crouched in the underbrush as the mob passed close by. "We'll find every last one man snarled. Moses held his breath, praying they wouldn't be discovered. When the mob moved on, he motioned for his family to continue. By dawn, the family reached the edge of town. Smoke rose in the distance, a black scar against the morning sky. Their home, their community, everything they had built, gone. Ocoee had become a graveyard for the blue-eyed people who dared to seek equality. The mob killed dozens and burned the town. Survivors were forced to flee, never to return. This story is fiction, but only in part. The Blues in this story are African Americans. The Browns are the white men and women who perpetuated systemic racism. The Ocoee Massacre occurred on November 2nd, 1920, Election Day. Moses Norman, an African American man, attempted to vote despite threats from the Ku Klux Klan. His courage was met with unimaginable violence. That night, a white mob attacked the black community in Ocoee, burning homes, churches, and schools. Estimates of deaths range from 30 to over 100. Survivors fled and Ocoee became an all-white town for decades. The Ocoee Massacre is the deadliest election day in American history, a stark reminder of the cost of fighting for basic rights. Imagine Moses Norman's courage to stand up against hate, knowing the fatal risks. Imagine being forced to leave your home, community, and dreams simply because you believed in equality. This is not just history, it's a lesson, a reminder of how far we've come and how far we still have to go. Here at Blue Eye Diaries, our mission is to uncover and share these powerful stories of resilience, courage, and injustice. We aim to shine a light on the past to inspire change for the future. Thank you for taking the time to listen and reflect with us. If this story moved you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more stories like this, and leave a comment to share your thoughts. We appreciate your support and hope to see you next time. Together, let's keep these important stories alive. Thanks for listening.